Okay, this should be there. And finally, that I have no idea why it's not streaming on YouTube, but it will start anytime. Okay, perfect. It's streaming on YouTube. And we are done. So yeah, epic pen. And we can start. Yeah, it wasn't a bad day today, and Andrew did amazingly well actually. Sometimes I feel sad that I don't follow his trades. PTIN traded NCLH. The price was extended from VWAP in 9-minute chart. 9-minute chart? And the 9-minute moving average on the 5-minute chart. I guess that's what you wanted to say, right? Then you saw a hammer on the 2-minute chart and you took it to the long side. Stop loss was below the hammer and you exited at the 9 moving average on the 5-minute chart. Wanted to get fourth one and got nothing. So let's take a look at NCLH on all the charts, and let's start with the bigger charts or time frames. The daily chart, it doesn't really matter for parabolic reversals, but good to see where the daily chart is heading. Looking at the daily chart, you could see a flat support here, which it today broke down. And looking at this, I see that NCLH, it will have some room to drop all the way to that previous resistance there, and then this level down here. So kind of short bias on it. On the 5-minute chart, it already dropped a lot. Those are two huge 5-minute candles. Remember, for parabolic reversals, we want to see at least 3 consecutive candles, actually 3, combining the pre-market, or 2 huge candles. Even 2 huge candles is enough. I'm not sure I would have taken it to the long side here. Anyone? Why isn't it ideal here? Yes, it dropped a lot, and it was far from the 9-moving average in the 5-minute chart, but why wasn't it ideal to the long side there, if that was a long trade? We'll see that in the smaller time frame now. Just looking at the 5-minute chart, there is one reason why we shouldn't actually take this thing to the long side. In the middle of the candle, kind of, but you're also going against the setup. Exactly, Jay, that's good. And yeah, Klaus, amazing. So this is a 5-minute up in range breakdown. This is the 5-minute up in range candle. It's making a 5-minute range up in range breakdown, and it is close to VWAP. This is a setup to the short side, and usually I don't want to take reversals against a setup, especially that VWAP is not that far right there. And the stock is looking weak on the daily. The moment it's breaking the 1734, you have marked the 1734 daily chart, daily level, right? There it is, 1734. Once it breaks it, it will have room to the bottom side, and that's it. Once it breaks it, it is actually a good setup to the short side. Let's go to the smaller time frames. That's it. Here, you took it to the long side because of the double hammer, but it wasn't ideal at that moment to the long side, in my opinion. The next long was decent, but there is a reason still why I wouldn't take this long right there. Anyone? On the 2-minute chart, it looks amazing. You're having a hammer at the low of the day, and then you're taking it. Oh, sorry, not here. You're having a hammer at the low of the day and a new 2-minute candle. But there is a reason why it's not perfect. Engulfing and more in chasing. Yeah, exactly. This candle is so huge. And if you are taking it to the long side, you can't have your stop loss within the candle. Stop loss is at least the low of the body. And yes, you would have still been stopped out if you used the low of the body right there. But still, even if you use that as your stop loss, your risk to reward will be messed up. That will be your risk. And your 2-to-1 will be somewhere up here, which is too much for a parabolic reversal. A better entry would have been here. Why do we like this one? First of all, we're having a double bottom. While having the double bottom, the stock is still extended from the 9-moving average in the 5-minute chart. It's somewhere around here, the double bottom, right? You're having a double bottom while still being extended from VWAP and the 9-moving average on the 5-minute chart. And also on the 1-minute chart, you're having good reversal candles. The 2-minute chart is also a good reversal candle, and that would give you a good risk to reward, right? So this I would have avoided. I see that you made money on it, which is still not bad, and this would have been the perfect entry on, in my opinion. Still good job managing your risk to reward, and good job exiting the trades without holding to your losers, right? Ivan traded CCL. This is amazing. This is a 5-minute open range breakdown along with a reverse ABCD pattern on the 1 minute chart with double confirmation candles. This hammer right here would have been a concern a little bit to me, but after this huge flash I wouldn't really expect it to go a lot. And this was a fake hammer. It's hammer followed by a new high and then double reverse hammers, which shows you that this hammer wasn't that strong, making a new low. You could put your stop loss either above those buy candles right there or slightly in the middle. So what I would do in this case, because we are getting in within the range, my stop loss would be at the high of the range. After we break the range, I would add a little bit to my position and move my stop loss somewhere here. This is how I would have managed this one, but still this was amazing. Same trade, James. Yeah, this was good. I wish I've seen this. Wasn't watching CCL, I guess. Andrew put it on his watch list. Guess I should have kept an eye on it. So let's see OSTK. Whose trade is it on OSTK? It's, I think, James. Yes, it's James. So James traded OSTK to the long side, and you wanted to get it for a parabolic reversal, right? Now look at this. Yes, we are having the candles. You're having the 1, 2. I wouldn't call this 2 actually because it's making a reverse candle, but let's say it's 2, 3, 4. But it's not parabolic. Dropping down a little bit, consolidating. Dropping down a little bit, not parabolically, right? It is extended from view up, it is extended from the 9-moving average in the 5-minute chart, but it's not dropping down parabolically. For parabolic reversal, and I think I might need to update the webinar a little bit, we don't only want to see a stock which is extended from the 9-moving average in the 5-minute chart, we want to see a sharp parabolic move. Similar to what we saw on INO today, going straight up, shooting star at the high of the day, and a new low, right? If you see it going parabolically, that's good. But if you are seeing it making this type of move, it's not really parabolic, which is why it's better to avoid it. You could still take it maybe for a mountain pass or reverse mountain pass. I don't think this is a reverse mountain pass because it's still the 50-moving average is still up there. But you could trade this thing for a double bottom because you see that it's struggling at the low of the day. Hello, Jim. Zach, let's see what you traded there. Zach traded NKLA, and the reason for his entry was that he liked the level 3550. The level 3550, that's it here, which was auto drawn from last trading day open. So basically this is yesterday's high maybe, or yesterday's low. Stock was extended from the 9-moving average on the 1-minute chart. And we could expect, yeah, by the way guys, remember that moving averages, they are averages. Stocks could go closer to them, weak below them, or bounce a little bit above them, but still stocks will not go so far from the moving averages. If the stock is getting so far from moving average, it will either consolidate or it will pull back to the moving average. They will never be so far from moving averages. And I think this is not bad scalping strategy right here. Could see weakness on the level 2, and this is smart. So basically you're not only going to the short side because you are seeing that the stock is extended from the 9-moving average on the 1-minute chart. You see a daily level on your way, you see increasing volume right there, weakness on the level 2, taking it to the short side with the tight stop loss and going to the 9-moving average on the 1-minute chart. This is smart, I like it. Exit reason, was not confident in a large reversal. I also like that because stock is clearly going up, consolidating a little bit, pulling back and going up, pulling back a little bit, and it could have just continued doing that, right? On the 5-minute chart, it just broke the high of the day. So it could just simply continue going higher. It could just make small pullback, previous resistance would act as support, and then continue going higher. So what you traded right here is just a quick scalp to the bottom side, and I like this. Level 2 plays, time and sales plays, momentum plays, they are not to hold into a trade for a long time. They are quick plays, in and out. So yeah, really good job there. Maybe in this type of trade, I should partial instead of all out or all out. I would partial all out. If I get the risk to reward 3-1, for example, and I bet you got 3-1 in this case, I would exit all out to 3-1. I can't really hope for a big move when I'm going against the trend. If I go with the trend, I would hold. I'm really patient when I'm going with the trend. And I'll show you a trade I made today. With the trend, I'm not really over partialing. So what am I doing on PTIN? PTIN today, look at the daily chart. I see that it's actually moving a lot. It's moving a lot, right? And basically, with a good entry, I could get a huge move outfit. Yesterday, we bounced off the 20 moving average, closed as a doji or as a hammer. Today, when I took it, it just made around $1 move. The average true range is way more than $1. So liking it on the daily chart, and I definitely like it on the daily chart to the long side. I looked at the pre-market price action and today at the open, at the 15-minute chart. At the 15-minute chart, it's above the 9, it's above the 20 moving average. I see wicks on the bottom side. Not so clear, but it's still decent. On the 5-minute chart, bouncing of the 50, bouncing of the 50, bouncing of the 50. A little bit below it, it's fine. This is a moving average, right? What do I see? I see that it's making a low, a high. It's strong, right? A low, which is a higher low. And it's coming back up. We don't have a higher high yet, and I didn't really want to wait for a higher high because it's just too much to wait for a higher high. Combining what I see on the daily chart with what I see on the 15-minute chart, the uptrend, with what I see on the 5-minute chart, the triple bottom, every time it's making a higher low. The moment it made a new high, let's get back to the 1-minute chart. I'll show you what I liked on the 1-minute chart. On the 1-minute chart, I like the wicks, which are going to the upper side right there. I'm taking it to the long side on a new high, putting my stop loss down here, 83.30. What is it doing? I don't care about it going to my 2-to-1 and dropping down, because I know that after 3 consecutive candles, stock usually is doing a pullback. This is the 4th consecutive candle right there. And I knew that I will be missing some move if I don't take a partial. But if the stock is strong, and if my plan is right, it will do a pullback. It will not get me stopped out because my stop loss is really technical. It's below the 50. It's below the level which it actually bounced from. And it will make a higher low and continue going higher. What did it do? It dropped down below my entry point, bounced, came back up, and look at the 5-minute chart. What do we have? Bigger, lower wick. Now it formed a higher low. So look at this. What do we have? We're having a low, we're having a high. We're having a low, we're having a high. Lower highs, higher lows. We're having a low, higher low, and now this would be the first higher high, which would change the trend from the bottom side and from the upper side. I'm taking it, I'm adding to my position, moving my stop loss, and partialing closer to the high of the day, just in case it's going to make a double bottom and drop down. Round number 85.50, closer to the round number 86, and closer to the daily level 87. And that was it. All out from this trade. I found myself getting into early on consolidation. Stock moved sideways. I got subbed out before the stock made a move. Okay, Joe, make sure to send the screenshot to the off-topic chat. I'll definitely take a look at your trade. Just in the main chat, I might miss the screenshot. DH pack. Let's see what you did there. Traded Oracle, and you traded this thing to the long side. So why didn't you get subbed out here? Was your stop loss initially the low down there from the pre-market? I put stop below the pre-market. Okay, this is smart. I like this. You got in when it was starting to come back on the 1-minute chart, but looking at the 1-minute chart and how it's zoomed out, I think this wasn't the main reason why you took it to the long side. Definitely not the 1-minute chart. Dropping down, you like the pre-market and you took it to the long side. So this is not bad because you're playing the support and resistance in this case. But remember that support levels are only one indicator. It's similar to seeing only one hammer, or seeing something on the level 2, or seeing something on the volume. This is not enough. You definitely need a little bit more confirmation. In this case, it's at least a new 1-minute high. That's what I would have waited for, because your plan was right. It went into the support, so your stop loss was really technical. But a little bit more to wait for is a new high. And remember, once you're getting into the trade, into the right position, you could just always add at each level it's bouncing from. What's this play right here? It's 3-bar play, huge candle, small candle, followed by huge candle. So on the 3-bar play, the stop loss is the low of the second candle. and that's your entry. You could double your position and move your stop loss to the low of the candle, going up, and basically there are no more possible entries. So here you definitely just hold on and start partialing all the way up. Pulling back, you're adding right at the bottom, but remember, this is not enough. It could just continue making lower lows, lower highs, or continue making a reverse ABCD pattern. You might want to wait for a W shape, or just make sure that it's going in your favor, or at least a new 5-minute high before the add, and then ride the trend. This add is amazing. You are adding at the break of the high of the day and then partialing all the way to the daily level. I really like how you manage this trade. You manage it really well. Kodi. So the same thing, Kodi, right? But a little bit later entry. Now this is also good. You see that it's dropping down, right? You see a doji at the low, and this is the pre-market level, the pre-market low level. New 1-minute high. You're taking it to the long side. One thing though, you partialed so early in this trade, right? So basically DHPAC and Kodi here, they both have taken the same trade. Kodi was a little bit more patient with the entry, waited for the confirmation. DHPAC entered a little bit later, but on the other hand, DHPAC was more patient with the partials, right? Kodi exited so fast in this trade. Anyway, I see that the risk to reward was definitely there. More than 2-to-1, right, Kodi? If this is the stop loss, and this is your reward, this is definitely at least 3 hours, somewhere around 4 to 5 hours, and exiting the rest on a new 1-minute low. Yeah, remember that the rejection of VWAP doesn't really mean that it's already done. Market is trading in waves, and as long as it's making higher highs and higher lows, the setup's still good. I definitely would be worried about this high, low, high. We're making lower highs, and if you want to make sure that the setup is done, you would need to wait all the way down here, low, and basically this will show you that the trend is going down. But the moment it's bouncing out of here and making a higher low, and then it's making a higher high, this is just showing you that the trend is beginning somewhere right there, along with a 3-bar play right there. Still good trade there. Hizar. Wow, look at that. So taking it for a 1-minute open range breakout, entry at a new 1-minute high, and partialing all the way up to the daily level, exiting the rest at break even. The moment it's making a new low, and this low, I think it's a 5-minute open range breakdown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5-minute open range breakdown, breaking the low of the day right there, taking it to the short side, partialing all the way down, adding on a small reverse ABCD pattern, partialing all the way down, adding one more time, adding one more time. I bet this would be the stop loss right there, partialing one more time at the daily level. Now look at this, guys. You're having a range here. After the breakout, the stock is getting into the range and it's breaking the pivot point right here, which is showing you that the stock is not really weak at that moment, right? So what's he doing? He's exiting all out at his average break even, and the next candle after it's breaking the pivot point out the pullback, is getting in to the long side, partialing at VWAP, partialing more. We know that the market is trading in waves, so this drop here didn't scare him. The trend looks like it actually has changed, right? You see the waves? The trend has changed, so he's adding on a new high, partialing all the way up, and on each pullback, each breakout, he is adding to his position. Holding this range now, adding within the range, and partialing all the way up. You're reading the price action amazingly well, Hizar, and you're really patient waiting for those entries and ads. I think you don't get out from your screens. Now this is not today's, it looks like 8th of September, but really good management there. No, really good job, Hizar. Sam, let's see what you did. This is the same trade we reviewed, and this is amazing one actually. Dropping down, right? CCL 5 minute open range breakdown, pulling back, double reverse hammers, new 1 minute low taken it to the short side, stop loss somewhere up there, and then partially all the way down. Starting to form sort of a reverse ABCD pattern, along with kind of descending triangle, adding to the position, moving the stop loss, and partialing all the way down. That's amazing. Really good job there. Let me close this because it freezed and open it one more time. Okay, Joe, let's see what you did. So Joe traded Oracle and you traded it to the short side. Was this an extreme reversals, Joe? I think it was an extreme reversals. Now let me, actually you wrote something, I remember that. Let me read that. Let me see. I think I missed it. There it is. I found myself getting in too early on consolidation. Stock moved sideways. I got subbed out before the stock made a move to my target direction. So let's take a look at this. You are getting into Oracle for an extreme reversal, right? And looking at the 15-minute chart, what is the 15-minute chart? You're having a reversal candle at the high of the day. Looking at the 5-minute chart, you're having a double top, which is a reversal pattern. Looking at the 1-minute chart, you have the cross of the 50 moving average with the 9 and the 20 moving average, and you are getting into the downside. The short was amazing, but the stop loss, remember, we're reading the waves, and especially on extreme reversals, and when you aim for a target of VWAP and below VWAP, you want your stop losses to be the waves. On the 5-minute chart, this is the high of the wave, so the moment you are entering, this would be your stop loss. Then you are waiting for the next wave. It's making a lower high wave. You could add to your position and move your stop loss somewhere down there. Then what's it doing? It's making a new high and dropping down. You could add to your position and move your stop loss. Why is that? Because your target is VWAP, and you will not take partial unless the stock is reaching VWAP or getting closer to VWAP, because this is how we trade extreme reversals, right? We stick into a trade until it's either hitting VWAP or until it shows us that it changed the trend, making higher lows and higher highs. In this case, you might want to just bail on the trade. As long as that didn't happen, just hold on to it, survive the waves, and add on each pullback all the way to VWAP. Your entry was good. I mean, depending on how the daily chart looked like, but the stop loss was really tight. Yeah, your stop loss is up there, then at each wave it's doing, you would be adding. I mean, this is how I'm trading the extreme reversals. You're welcome. So let's take a look at some more trades since we're having time. Here, let's see your second trade there, DKNG. Guys, if you have more trades to review, you could send them. We have time, and usually we go for one trade, but since we have time, we could do more right there. So this is today's trade, right? You're taking DKNG to the long side, and I bet you didn't get stopped out because your stop loss was the low of the day, right? Or the daily level right there. It's dropping down. You got stopped out at break even once it went against you. Drop down, bounce of the daily level, came back up, and look at these guys. Now you're having a setup, a double bottom right there, entering, adding to his position, partialing at the pivot point, partialing at the high of the day, partialing closer to the daily level, more partials at another daily level, at the high of the day, at the daily level. The partials are amazing. I love your partials actually. All of them have meaning. Pivot point, high of the day, previous day close, daily level, and the high of the day. Yeah, this is amazing, Keezer. Good job. Are you trading mainly of the 1 minute chart? I see that you are screenshotting only the 1 minute chart. Sava from yesterday, I bet, traded this one in the pre-market, right? Going up, pulling back, going up. This is ugly, but I think this is just a bad print right there. Taking it to the long side, adding to your position, partialing at the high of the pre-market, at the break of the pre-market, all the way up, adding on the pullback, at the high, more partials, daily level, more partials, and heavy partial closer to the daily level. That's amazing, Keezer. Yeah, I see that. So you are using the 1 minute chart, right? You use all the time frames, right? Is the 1 minute chart your main time frame? For low flows. No, this is actually amazing. Really good job, Kizer. So guys, do you have any questions? Well, if not, we can end up a little bit earlier today. Unfortunately, it's only 30 minutes, but it's okay. I didn't do a lot of trades today to review, unfortunately. And we can actually just watch the price. Oh, wait. Actually, we have some trades. Thank you, Lou. NIO. Let's take a look at NIO. Looking at NIO, it's making a double bottom with the second bottom higher than the first one. Above 1960, I would like it to the long side. To the short side, I'm not sure I like it right now. Maybe only above 1960 to the long side. So Lou, let's see what you did. You traded. What's this stock here? The name. CCL. Perfect. CCL, let's see the 15-minute chart. Extreme reversal, right? New 15-minute high. Break of this consolidation on the 5-minute chart. Sort of triple bottom on the 1-minute chart. Cross of the 50 moving average. No, this is not the 50, it's cross of the 9 and the 20. Taking it to the long side. I like this partial because you're going against the 50 moving average. And remember guys, the 50 moving average is a really strong moving average, especially when trend trading. And taking partial around it is really smart. Held on to it, it bounced off the 50, and this is what I love. I love it when the stock has the cross of the 50 moving average with the 9 and the 20, plus the bounce of the 50 moving average. This is a really good indicator for me that the stock might actually reverse. Adding more at the breakout of the pivot point, and then you have literally nothing ahead of you except for this pivot point up there and view up where you went all out. That was clean. Not yet. So Minam, I didn't make one, but I'll make one in the future, I think. I'll combine it with something. Yeah, I'll combine it with a webinar. Maybe I'm planning to do a webinar in December on how to read the waves and trend trades. And I think on that webinar, I will add a part where I'm talking about how to take partials. Okay. Now let's take a look at the next trade. He's trading PTIN, 1 minute open range breakdown. First partial. I see why you partial right there. I think maybe you got scared that it is reversing, which is not bad. Small double bottom right there, coming back up, breaking the range, and you took the partial because of that. Adding to the position once you make sure that it's still going in your favor. Partialing closer to the low of the day, daily level, and another partial. Double adds, partialing down there, adding. Was your stop up here on those adds? It was view up, right? Okay, not bad. Adding more, partialing on the way down. I like how you're partialing on each pullbacks as close as possible to the resistance, partialing as close as possible to the support. This is how we should trade, guys. We should not always add at the breakouts and partial at the break while having a wide stop loss. This is what we should do. Add as close as possible to the resistance, similar to what Heather is doing, and partial as close as possible to the support. You could either trade the range this way, and if it's breaking down, it will be an extra move for us. So yeah, really good job there, Heather. That would be great because listening to your reviews, you are talking a lot about partials. Yeah, so partials, I really care about them when I am trend trading. I try to put my partials at technical levels. When I'm trading reversals, especially parabolic reversals, I have tight stop losses. And we don't know how much the pull or how big the pullback is going to be. And because of that, on parabolic reversals, I tend to take partials so quickly. So yeah, that's it. But I'll definitely mention it in the webinar next time. Alright guys, so we're ending up a little bit earlier today. If you have any questions, just feel free to email me, ayman@bearbulltraders.com. Guys on YouTube, if you have any questions, you can also always email me. I'll type my email, ayman@bearbulltraders.com. Have a great day, everyone. Trade safe, don't break your rules, and I will be in the chat room. Thank you, everyone.